An alien leans toward Daniel. It whispers something. We never hear it. Daniel turns. He tells Margaret. She turns to the cameras. She says one word. Listen. Then the screen cuts to black. No message, no translation, just silence. What did the alien actually say? Welcome back to Movizo, where every ending hides a beginning. Today we're not just recapping Disclosure Day. We're digging into the one secret the film refuses to give us. Here's the mystery at the center of everything. The film builds an entire chain of communication. Alien to Daniel, Daniel to Margaret, Margaret to us, 3 links, 3 translations, 3 chances to lose something, and right at the final link the film stops. It cuts before the message reaches us in full. That's not a mistake. That's the whole point. Now here's a theory floating around fan circles, and to be clear, this part is speculation, not confirmed by the film itself. Some viewers believe the missing message was never meant to be words at all. The theory goes that what the alien passes on isn't information, it's a feeling. An emotional download, not a sentence. That would explain why Margaret doesn't repeat it like a quote. She translates it into a single instruction instead. Listen. If that's true, the message was never sitting in a vault waiting to be revealed. Let's lay out what the film actually gives us. First, Daniel and Margaret were never random. They were chosen as children, decades before the story starts. The aliens didn't grab adults. They shaped kids before they could resist. Second, their gifts aren't symmetrical by accident. Daniel understands numbers, pure structure, pure logic. Margaret understands people, pure emotion, pure connection. One half of communication without the other is incomplete. Put them together and you get a full language. Third, the alien technology only behaves for Margaret. A soldier touches it barehanded and is nearly destroyed. Scanlan has to be stabilized by machines just to use it. Margaret picks it up and it simply works. That's not luck. That's the same conditioning from her childhood. Fourth, the timeline isn't random either. The crash happens just 2 years after World War II ends. The cover-up begins exactly when humanity is most exhausted by conflict. The film is quietly tying alien secrecy to human warfare from the start. Fifth, Nixon is the turning point in the cover-up itself. Once a president leaks evidence to impress a celebrity, leadership gets cut out. After that, the secret isn't protected by the government anymore. It's protected by a private company instead, Wardex. Power shifts from elected officials to a corporation with no accountability. This is where the film stops being about aliens at all. Wardex's entire argument is that humanity isn't ready for the truth. They claim disclosure will collapse religion, government, society itself. But the film never actually shows that collapse happening. Instead, when the truth comes out, the opposite happens. Soldiers stop mid-battle, people stand still. The world holds its breath together. Eve is the clearest proof of this. She's the most faithful character in the story. She finds out the truth and doesn't lose her faith. She reframes it instead with help from an old friend. Her belief system survives contact with reality. It just grows. So the secrecy was never protecting humanity. It was protecting the people who benefited from the silence. That's the same logic that fuels every war in the film's backdrop. Not understanding becomes fear. Fear becomes justification. Justification becomes violence. Here's where I land on this. The missing message was never meant to be heard by us directly. The whole structure of the film proves that second-hand truth still works if it's carried with care. Margaret doesn't need to repeat the alien's exact words because she already became the message. Listen isn't a teaser for more information. It's the entire thesis of the film delivered in one word. So here's what I want to know from you. If you were standing in Margaret's place, with the whole world watching, what's the one word you'd choose instead of listen? That's the layer hiding underneath Disclosure Day's final scene. A missing message that was never really missing, just translated into action instead of words. Welcome back to Movizo, where every ending hides a beginning. If this broke the ending open for you, hit like, drop your theory in the comments, and subscribe for more.